Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
A high snap, they hand it off to Bell, bounces out to the right, he's going to walk it in, touchdown, Fort Hays State. And now in motion comes Karan Watson. They give it to Floyd. He bounces off a tackle, and he takes it into the end zone. And for the first time tonight, Fort Hays State has the lead. Bruce, the tight end, in motion. They give to Bell. Started left, cuts up the middle. He's near the goal line. Did he get in? No signal. Still running. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. 21-14, 8:55 to go, but now it's 2nd and 12. And a pass far side, and it's going to be caught by Bell. He's in. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. Slaps the hands. Bruce in motion. Hands, nope, he keeps it. Runs right side. Breaks a tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. Major Cantrell. His first rushing touchdown as a Tiger. And Fort Hays State adds to the lead. It's 34-14 with 4:10 to go in the game. Fort Hays State, for the first time ever in San Angelo, Texas, wins. They knock off the Rams 35-14 with a dominant second half.
Carter Jensen leading it off for the third consecutive game for the Royals. And Jensen hammers it high in the air. Lucas looks up. That ball's way out of here. Into the second deck. That is a leadoff bomb from Carter Jensen.
How did Vinny get enough of that? Deep right field. 2 more for the Royals. And a double-digit lead in the 6th inning. There it goes. Wow. Into the 3rd deck in right field. Caglione delivers. That is his 5th hit tonight. And he has driven in 6 of the Royals' 13 runs.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program. Landon Winkler is running your video feed and your cameras. Caden Sanders is joining me in the studio as well, and the show is brought to you by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. We start the show, as we do every single day, with the sounds of the past 24 hours. Caden, you were the one who told me where I could actually find this audio, so thank you for that. But Fort Hays State gets on the board, goes down to Texas, and takes down the Angelo State Rams 35-14. And it feels like this is kind of a really big win for the program.
Yeah, it is, because when Coach Brown was, talking in the interview, you want to play the best. If you want to be in the tournament, you got to play the best teams. And Angelo State was one of those teams in Region 4 in years past that was one of the dominant teams. They've kind of slipped off a little bit, but they also
still receiving votes. They are receiving votes.
They are receiving votes, but they did have a lot of new guys, young, inexperienced talent, but they also had a new offensive and defensive coordinator. But the Tigers and the Rams, it was 7-7 at halftime, and then the Tigers just really took off. I thought Major Cantrell and the backfield really just were able to click on one cohesive thought, and so I think that the Tigers offense answered all the questions, but the question is can you play all 4 quarters against Colorado State Pueblo next week?
Yep, absolutely. Taking you through some of those individual statistics here for Fort Hays State. Major Cantrell, I believe his first start for the Tigers, correct?
College snaps even, because he didn't start for Iowa State. So it's been a couple years.
So coming down to Division II level, he goes 18 for 28 in this game, 229 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He also ran the ball 6 times for 56 yards and a score. So a really good start for him in his first start. A.G. Floyd with 19 carries, 96 yards on the ground. He scored a touchdown himself. LaAngelo Bell ran the ball 9 times for 48 yards, scored 2 of the touchdowns on the ground. So just a really, it's the running game clearly working, but doing it in a lot of different ways for Fort Hays.
Yeah, and that was one thing that the Tigers knew that they were going to have to lean their head on, because last year your quarterback outran pretty much all the running backs, and that's not a recipe for success. But, you had a lot of transfers coming in, and that was one thing offensively you knew was going to be good this year. The question was the line going to be nasty enough? And they checked that box. And Major Cantrell, can he compete, especially being a couple years out, and he did that.
Absolutely. All right. Our other sounds the past 24 hours, the Kansas City Royals. We were curious, Caden, how they were going to bounce back after their winning streak came to an end on Wednesday. And last night, I say they bounced back pretty well, 13-2 over the Toronto Blue Jays. And so the Royals do manage to take that series. The story of the night, Jack Caglianone gets 5 hits in 6 at-bats, including a home run. He drove in 6 runs, and he has gone from a guy with a lot of promise to a guy who's fulfilling his potential over the last month or so.
Yeah, when the Royals drafted him, I knew that he was going to be one of those players because I watched him at Florida because of the ESPN coverage of SEC baseball in the spring. So I knew that Jack Caglianone was going to be that type of guy. The question is how long was he going to stay in the minors and what kind of impact right away? Well, obviously his rookie season didn't pan out, and so it kind of took him a little bit. He gets white hot, then kind of cools off a little bit, and then he has a game like this. So, I'm excited to see where it continues because I think it's just only the beginning for Cags.
The Kansas City Royals have become just a haven for the large Italian men between Jack Caglianone and Vinny Pasquantino, and they just two big dudes with some big bats, and they're really playing well right now. And so they've won, I believe, 10 of their last 11 games. They had a 9-game win streak in there as well. I mean, it's probably better than that. I think it's like 12 of their last 15.
Something like that,
off the top of my head, that may not be exactly right, but still having a very good second half of the season. They have a winning record in the second half, and that's going a long way. So we'll see what the Royals can do as their season continues. Last thing, we couldn't find sounds for this. I'm hoping that I can play something on Monday, but I still wanted to talk about it because it has come out. Quarterback battle at the University of Kansas, and Isaiah Marshall, the redshirt sophomore, has been named the winner of that contest. So Isaiah Marshall beats out Cole Ballard. The more athletic of the two, kind of feels like the higher ceiling of the two, even if he may not have as good an understanding of the playbook, and that's me from reading from very far away. Again, that may not be entirely accurate, but either way, he beats Cole Ballard for the starting quarterback job at KU.
Look, I won't sugarcoat it. I'm not the biggest Jayhawks fan, nor do I hate KU. But what I will say is I've noticed that a lot of the times at this day and age of where football is, the quarterback position, you need a leader, and that's always been the case, but you also need someone that's able to run with the football, be agile on the feet, and seeing Jaden Daniels take over the quarterback position over the last couple of years, you need someone like that. You can't just go from Jaden Daniels, who wants to run the ball, to a pocket passer. So I think that this is probably a good decision, but it'll be one of those things where you got to learn quick because you got Long Island University here this next week, and then after that you got Mizzou.
Yep. Big time second game coming up for the Jayhawks. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, by the Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of our community members, and by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company, whether it be tillable acres, hunting property, or even your dream home. Cody is always looking forward to creating new relationships or continuing to build on existing ones. We are going to head to our first break. On the other side of it, if you are a sports fan in the city of Great Bend, you know this guy. Been doing it for a long time. I think 16 years he's been in competition now, maybe a little more than that. But Austin Livingston, Great Bend Special Olympics athlete, stopped by the studio. He and I, and Caden had a conversation. And we're going to play that for you. Really cool story here. The guy just continues to add to his trophy cabinet. Want to clarify some things here, and actually, let's do that after the interview. I'll bring up the things that Austin said he wanted me to clarify a little bit, so we'll let you hear it on the other side of this break. You are listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB at 95.5 FM.
Ready to get top dollar for your assets? Auctions are the fastest and most reliable way to achieve that. With 49 years of auction experience selling land, equipment, guns, and coins, we handle it all.
Nationwide marketing, providing your assets with maximum exposure and proven results. See upcoming auctions and services at redcedarland.com or call Cody Crook at 620-617-7320.
Red Cedar Land Company, rooted in results. 25 and 35.
Mom, our flight leaves in 2 hours. Are we ready?
Ready? Yes. Moving? No.
Why not?
Because the garage door won't open.
You've got to be kidding me.
Nope, the car is trapped. We might miss our flight.
A broken garage door can ruin your vacation plans. When your garage won't open, call C&D Doors for fast, dependable service.
Mom, if it gets us to the airport on time, I'm leaving them an awesome Google review.
C&D Doors, serving Central and Western Kansas. Call 620-792-2499 in Great Bend or 785-625-5532 in Hayes.
The fall lineup is here at Scooter's Coffee, and they're not sorry about the pumpkin. Sip your way into fall with Pumpkin Caramelicious, Pumpkin Cinnalicious, Pumpkin Chai, Pumpkin Spice, or Maple Caramelicious. Want something cold? Try the Maple Caramelicious Cream Cold Brew, Caramel Apple Red Bull Infusion, Caramel Apple Shake, or the Sour Patch Kids Lemonade. Hungry? Grab a Pumpkin Caramelicious Muffin or Veggie Breakfast Burrito. Most drinks come hot, iced, or blended, so go ahead, embrace your pumpkin obsession. Fall only lasts so long. Scooter's Coffee, scoot on around in Great Bend and Pratt. Chris Ramsey, your shelter insurance agent in Great Bend, is here to make sure you're covered with the right protection at the right price. From home, auto, life insurance, renters, personal articles, business, ATV, boat, motorcycle, RV, and farm, Shelter can cover it. Give Chris a call today, 620-793-9390, to discuss your insurance options. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's 620-793-9390. Or stop by 1922 Main in Great Bend.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
American Plains Co-op has been serving customers since 1959. Today, with 16 elevators, 13 fueling sites, and services including agronomy, seed, feed, bulk fuel, grain, farm supply, and precision ag, they're your local agricultural leader. As a patron-owned cooperative, American Plains Co-op is committed to dependable service, strong customer relationships, and helping your operation succeed. Their hard-working Great Bend team goes above and beyond to earn your business. American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, a tradition of excellence since 1959.
The Fieldhouse is a premier athletic training facility to host many athletic camps and clinics for youth of all ages throughout the year. The Fieldhouse is also a home to several local businesses and includes a full-size training facility, a full-size basketball court, 60 yards of field turf, batting cages, and more. Go to fieldhousegb.com or stop by the Fieldhouse, 2817 9th Street in Great Bend. The Fieldhouse, promoting leadership through athletics.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. We also have Caden Sanders on the microphone, and we are now joined in the studio by Austin Livingston, Great Bend Special Olympics athlete, hometown hero, bit of a local celebrity. Austin, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. Yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. Thanks for coming in today. So you emailed me about 2 weeks ago saying, hey, I've got something pretty big that I want to tell people about. So you stopped by the office, I think, sometime last week and kind of told us what was going on and what you wanted to say on the show. So go ahead and tell folks, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, I've just been working at least 3 jobs right now, just doing Special Olympics stuff, getting ready to go back to college, just staying busy.
Absolutely. So you were where? You came in and you were holding 4 gold medals, man, when you came in the other day. So what was that about?
Oh, I got 4 gold medals and 1 bronze at the 2026 Special Olympics Kansas State Swimming Championships. I won bronze in the 25-meter freestyle, I won gold in the 50-yard freestyle, the 25-yard freestyle, the 50-yard breaststroke, and the 25-yard breaststroke. And then I got bronze in the 100-yard relay.
That's awesome, man. So where was this? Where was that competition?
It was in Topeka, Kansas.
Okay, in Topeka. And so you're continuing. I mean, I said it to you when you came in, I think, but man, you continue to stack up golds. I mean, you continue to bring home medals for this area, and I think that's really cool, man. I'm really inspired by your story, and for anybody who doesn't know your story, go ahead and tell folks about it.
Well, I grew up a Michael Phelps fan, and he's always been an inspiration to me. I looked up to him since I was 6 years old, and he just inspired me to keep on swimming.
So you went to Great Bend High School, were a state qualifier with their swim team, and then you went to Barton for their swimming program as well, right? And you've continued after your graduation from Barton, and you've continued swimming at the Special Olympics level and continued to do really well.
Yeah, I actually in the 25-yard freestyle and the 50-yard breaststroke, I actually made a little bit of history. I swam one of the fastest times in Special Olympics swimming history.
Wow!
In the 50-yard breaststroke and the 25-yard freestyle, it was pretty neat.
Yeah. Anytime you can set history, it's a pretty good feeling, right?
Yeah, there isn't really no record books for it, but I was just doing some research, and I was just wowed by how close I was to Larry Finney's times. He holds two of the fastest times ever recorded in Special Olympics history, so it's pretty neat that I was just looking up some stuff on that, and I was shocked how close I was to his times, and I'm probably his closest contender too.
That's awesome. So you mentioned Michael Phelps. You mentioned a couple of your heroes there. You got to meet Michael Phelps at one point.
Yeah, I have. I put a comment on his Facebook page. It's been about 10 years ago. I put a comment on his Facebook page, and it got national attention. And then 15 months later, after that comment, I got to meet him in person. It was a pretty neat story.
Yeah, absolutely. So, talk to us. What is next on your schedule as far as the swimming goes? What's the next Special Olympics event that you're signed up for?
I'm doing about 5 different sports. I'm doing golf, track and field, swimming, basketball, and I forgot the other one. But yeah.
All right.
My next competition is a golf competition in Wichita.
Okay. And you're enrolled at Fort Hays State, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to go back in January. I had to take a break due to some unforeseen circumstances, but yeah.
Okay, so talk to us about your ultimate goals. I mean, you continue to get better. You continue to improve your times. What is pushing you to become so much better? Where do you want to end up?
I'm hoping to I may never really get there, but I'm hoping that I can get to the Olympic Games in Los Angeles in 2028. But I still have a lot of work to do because my times aren't really that close yet. I'm getting there, but it's still going to take some work.
Yeah, the Special or the Summer Olympics 2 years out. So you're how old? You're 30-ish?
Yeah, I'm going to be 32 on September 8th.
Okay. So you're still in a good athletic age, and you've certainly got time to keep improving those times, man. And I think your story's so cool. I don't know if there's a question in there, but I think that the fact that you continue to do as well as you do is really inspiring to a lot of people.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. My next big swimming competition won't be until next year when it's going to be an international one. I'll be going to Como Lake, Italy. And I'm going to be competing in the Open Masters World Games over there.
I was going to say that, being at, your athletic ability, how much practice do you have to have? Do you go daily? Do you go 3 times a week? Like, what is your regiment when you're practicing for swimming?
I go about 5 times a week for 2 to 3 hours a day. I try to aim for that.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun just because, you know, we hear about athletes all the time, and, you know, the work that you have to put in to be at the top of your game is it's incredible. I mean, it's incredible the amount of hours that you put in a swimming pool. And now you're telling us that you're involved in other sports as well. What are you practicing the most right now?
Right now I'm kind of in the off season right now for my swimming and other sports, but right now I'm getting into golf right now.
Golf. All right. How do you find the time, man? You said you're working multiple jobs and you're trying to participate in 5 different sports at a high level. I mean, where do you get the time?
I just try to find the time that I can. I still have some free time to do it. When I have the time to do it.
Sure. So where did you find this kind of love for sport, this love for competition? When did you figure out that this is something that you wanted to do?
Oh, like when did I want to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, when I first discovered Special Olympics, I just fell in love with it. And all the sports that they offer, like Special Olympics Kansas, pretty great organization.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Austin, is there anything else you want to tell people before we get you out of here today?
I think that's about it.
Well, Austin, thank you so much for coming in, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That is Austin Livingston, Great Bend Special Olympics athlete, joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Austin for coming in. Yeah, super cool story. And I don't know, Caden, how familiar you were with Austin's story before meeting him the other day, but just a super cool dude. And, you know, it kind of went viral a decade ago for getting Michael Phelps to visit Great Bend, Kansas, but also, you know, the dude continues to go and just be a really good athlete.
Yeah, I didn't know his story up until you told me that, you know, he was coming in and kind of just inform me on what was going on. That's kind of what we usually do before anybody comes on. But, you know, just hearing his story was awesome. And to know that, like, you know, he's really good at swimming, but he's also trying, you know, multiple different sports also, because like for me, you know, yeah, I want to stay active, but like I would love to be in competitive sports again, you know, and that really, you know, brought out my drive again.
Actively, and he wanted me to mention, because he forgot to say this during the interview and called us back and said, hey, this is the one I forgot to say. So he wanted us to mention this. He is competing in swimming, obviously. He's also in golf, track and field, basketball. And the one that he was not able to recall during the interview but wanted to let everybody know is that bowling is the 5th sport. So he is actively competing in bowling as well, which it's impressive to be a multi-sport athlete, regardless of how many the multi is, to do swimming at such a high level and also try and compete in those other 4 sports. Obviously, what Austin's doing is pretty cool. He also wanted to let everybody know, he said yards at a couple of points in that interview. He realized later that day he meant meters, so meters, not yards. Still pretty similar-ish, not exactly the same, but either way, still what he wanted everybody to let everybody know that part of it. So we wanted to clarify for him for that. But yeah, just a super, super cool conversation with Austin and just a really cool story there. And hopefully, you know, I'm rooting for him to make it to LA, you know, in a year or so, or in 2 years or so. So should be fun to get Great Bend on the national stage, you know?
Yeah.
International stage.
Yeah. And he even talked about it, you know, whenever he's in the pool, it's a couple of hours like any other professional would. So, you know, I'm cheering him on. Hopefully, you know, he gets that dream.
Yep. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service, where you'll always find the best deal on the floor you want and the information you need to make a wise choice. By Chris Ramsey of Shelter Insurance. As your shelter agent, he can help you make sure you get the right coverage at the right price while providing the quality service you expect. Feel free to give him a call to discuss your insurance options today. By Equity Bank, they never forget it's your money. and by the American Plains Co-op, your local grain, feed, energy, seed, agronomy, and retail co-op with a rich history of tradition within our communities. Our next conversation on the show, if you listened to the program last season, you got used to hearing this guy's voice, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions, the man who knows all there is to know about sports in the state. We're going to talk to Connor on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
The Fieldhouse is a premier athletic training facility to host many athletic camps and clinics for youth of all ages throughout the year. The Fieldhouse is also a home to several local businesses and includes a full-size training facility, a full-size basketball court, 60 yards of field turf, batting cages, and more. Go to fieldhousegb.com or stop by the Fieldhouse, 2817 9th Street in Great Bend. The Fieldhouse, promoting leadership through athletics.
American Plains Co-op has been serving customers since 1959. Today, with 16 elevators, 13 fueling sites, and services including agronomy, seed, feed, bulk fuel, grain, farm supply, and precision ag, they're your local agricultural leader. As a patron-owned cooperative, American Plains Co-op is committed to dependable service, strong customer relationships, and helping your operation succeed. Their hard-working Great Bend team goes above and beyond to earn your business. American Plains Co-op in Great Bend, a tradition of excellence since 1959.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
A community banker should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Dodge Elligood, the commercial lender for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the community for a long time, and I've helped many people navigate financial challenges and find new financial opportunities. I believe people bank with people. That's why I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 4 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how committed we are to serving you and the communities we call home. At Equity Bank, we never forget it's your money. Member FDIC.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Introducing Ag Mechanics at Barton Community College in partnership with Case New Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines, with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at toptech.bartoncccc.edu.
Ready to get top dollar for your assets? Auctions are the fastest and most reliable way to achieve that. With 49 years of auction experience selling land, equipment, guns, and coins, we handle it all.
Nationwide marketing, providing your assets with maximum exposure and proven results. See upcoming auctions and services at redcedarland.com or call Cody Crook at 620-617-7320.
Red Cedar Land Company, rooted in results. 25-35.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. We're now joined over the phone by Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions. Connor, I should also mention Caden Sanders is in the studio with us. And Connor, it is so good to hear your voice again, man. How you doing?
Good. It's been a fun summer. We're ready to get cracking. A lot of things happen on Saturday. Volleyball is a big first day on Saturday, and then obviously the pigskin kicks off a week from tonight, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're doing this as kind of a okay. Let's get warmed up, and I mean, who better to have as a complete and total area primer than yourself? So let's go ahead and dive right into it. I do want to start with volleyball, because that will come a little bit sooner than the football side of things. We had Coach Greg Maxwell and the Ellenwood Eagles in here the other day, and Connor, the thing that astounded me the most about them last year is how they only had 2 seniors on that squad. Now, both of those seniors, very good players, both of them very important, but they bring back just about everything.
Yeah, I mean, this team is unbelievably loaded. I just cannot. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, look, I said that they might be even better than what they were last year, and last year might have been the best small school team that people have seen in Kansas in 20 years. So, no, Coach Maxwell, again, kudos to him, because he's just done a really, really extraordinary job. But you look through it, the amount of players they have back, you know, on Sunflower Sports Solutions, I spent a tremendous time over the summer updating both active and career lists for volleyball, for kills, assists, and digs, 25 plus deep in each category. And then for football, you can go on there, and I've got sortable stats for win-loss, home road, going back now 8 years, and then offensive stats, yards per play, passing percentage, rush percentage, and so on, going back 3 years. I'm the only site in Kansas that has this, and then I've got a lot of different archives on there. And so on volleyball, you know, you've got obviously Coach Maxwell's daughter, Meta, fantastic player. She's going to enter this year with 1,159 assists, which is top 15 right now in the state, all classes. Of course, she's only a junior. Kaya Bear from Great Bend is actually number 1 on that list. Kaya Bear should finish probably in the top 12 all time in Kansas for assists with another big season. And then, of course, you have Bennett Jacobs, the multi-year starter on the back row. And she's just a few digs shy of 1,000. She's in the top 15 active in digs. She has started since she's been a freshman. And then, you know, Maxwell is also very high on the list for kills, too. And then the Bachman girl, Olivia Bachman, who might be the best player of them all. You know, she is an outstanding player too. They are just loaded across the board. I was talking to somebody the other day about 2A West, and they said, you know, essentially we have a chance to go to state if we can avoid Ellenwood in some way, shape, or form. And then they are the really, really overwhelming favorite again. And, I mean, what a job Coach has done. And, again, he's been given time to build this, and he has built this Colossus. You know, they went through a lot of years of being really good, and now they are historically great.
Absolutely. And to swap over there, you mentioned Kaya Bear and the Great Bend Panthers. Another year where they're expected to be really good, but change in leadership. Tina Johnson, obviously, a lot of history there. Shelley Duvall follows her husband to Larned, and it's Tina Johnson back in the area. Now, you know more about Tina Johnson than I do, so for anybody who may not be familiar with her history at Hoisington, tell them what Great Bend is getting in that coach.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about this in May, and I said, you know, if you're in volleyball circles, you know who Tina Johnson is. She's already in the Hall of Fame, a long-time official, multi-decade official, long-time coach, predominantly at Hoisington and at Hutchinson. They were the program of the year at Hutch, had a lot of success. Among those, she coached Sarah Nuss, Sarah Shinstock then, Sarah Nuss, who's now been the Victoria coach for 13 years. Tina's coached a lot of club the last number of years, but I thought that Great Bend hit a real big home run with that hire to get somebody with that, you know, already a Hall of Famer, get somebody with that much experience. You know, Great Bend slotted number 6 in 5A. I feel like that is a reasonable slot. A lot of really, really good talent in volleyball right now in 5A. I've got the only college recruiting tracker for volleyball. And again, you've got a lot of 2027s out there who are 2028s for that matter, who are in 5A and 6A, who are going to very, very big schools. I mean, just to put it in perspective, Kaya Bear, of course, is committed to Washburn. St. Thomas Aquinas, who's ranked number 1 or number 2 in 5A, is Morgan Hampton. She's going to Central Missouri. St. James Academy has probably the best player in Kansas, and Maya Lee, who's only a junior, the outside hitter. She is going to K-State. Her setter is Ellen Dorsey, who is top 5 in the state of Kansas, active in assists. Coach Nancy Dorsey's daughter. That Dorsey-Lee connection is really, really outstanding. And, of course, Maize South has Sage Island, who is going to play beach volleyball at Texas. There are certainly other names that I'm not naming, but the point is there's a lot of really, really good talent. Andover's got a girl going to WSU. The Maize South setter, Autumn Pop, is going to go to Wisconsin. So, again, 5A is really, really loaded with top-flight Division I players. I feel like Great Bend's got a real shot to go to state. I think that top 3, Aquinas, Maize South, St. James, might be a little separated from the other ones. Blue Valley Southwest, who's ranked number 5, they graduated their player who's now at KU. But, again, I think Great Bend's going to have a really, really good season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a you and I have spoken about it a lot, but just the amount of talent, not just in this area, but the state of Kansas and in volleyball especially, feels like that sport has absolutely exploded over the past couple of years.
Yeah, and, people have, there's been some hand-wringing, of course, with some of the NCAA rules, particularly the 5-and-5 rule, and some of those things. It has really affected I think that second tier of players, your Division II players. Like I know that the Maxwell girl, she went to Kearney this summer with some other good, very good Division II caliber players. And I know that Rick Squires, who coached at Kearney for like 25 years, said, our recruiting right now for the class of 2027 is really basically full already. Our hands are tied. We're trying to figure some things out. I know a lot of Division II is on that mix. Now, it really has not affected the high-level Division I. Just to put this in perspective, Blue Valley West, who is a 6A school, they're ranked number 1 in 6A. Blue Valley West has three Power 4 Division I commits. They've got twins going to Rice, and then they've got Peyton Kubik, who is going to Pittsburgh, and actually there's a fourth one. Her other sister, Jensen Kubik, is going to go to USC. So again, it's not really affecting the high level Division I caliber players, but kind of that second tier. We're not seeing as much on that. People committing to the MIAA, Kearney type of schools, but we'll see where that all goes. But no, the volleyball talent is just loaded. Again, I've said this for several years now. There are more players in Kansas that go Division I in volleyball than go Division I in football. And obviously the participation is significantly less in volleyball for obvious reasons than it is in football. Fewer players on the court versus the field, all those things. But yeah, the volleyball has generally between 25 and 35 Division I signees per year.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move our attention to the Pigskin, which, like we said, doesn't get kicked off until a week from tonight. But still want to talk to you about some of the previews. And Connor, I've done a much better job this year, I think, of paying attention to some of the schools that are more on the fringes of our listening area. It's not just the schools that I call or Great Bend. It's been I've spoken to a lot of 8- and 6-man coaches this year that I didn't get to speak to last year. And Connor, I just kind of want your opinion on the landscape of the smaller schools, the 8- and 6-man. I remember Central Plains being a big deal at that level, and I kind of want your thoughts on how does the smaller schools shape up in this area?
Certainly. So, I run this, I've done it since 2014. I have ran the potential breakout teams for K-Preps. This will be my 17th year with K-Preps. We do a partnership with them, and a couple of the schools in the area, I think, are schools that are going to really, really break out. I want to start with Otis Bison. I think Otis Bison has a chance to be very good. You know, Mark Coles is an extremely veteran coach. They were 4-6 last year. They lost to the eventual state champion Cunningham, but they've got a lot of players back. I mean, Aiden Oaks Lowry, 83 tackles last year, first team All-State linebacker, really, really good. Marcus Starr is a really improving player. Maddox Firebaugh is back, a quarterback. Travis Ross is also in there too. You know, I think that Otis Bison, you look at their schedule as well, and you're like, this is a team that can win 8, 9, 10 games. I mean, really. I think that Tescott, definitely out west, is going to be a team to really, really watch for. But I think Otis Bison's really in that mix with Cunningham going to 8-man Division II, some other teams going through some things, just, you know, loss of talented players type of thing. I really think Otis is going to have a really, really good season. You look at a lot of their different things, and man, on paper, they look like a team that can really, really break out. I think that their ability to run the ball is going to be even better than last year. Their ability to catch and throw the ball is really, really strong, especially for 6-man. So again, Otis Bison team on the rise. You mentioned Central Plains. You're exactly right. I think Central Plains is going to rise up a lot. Part of it is a function of their schedule. You know, they lost some close games last year, or they lost to really, really good teams. And they're a team that I think has a lot of players back and has a lot of really, really good players back. You know, I expect this team to be much better than 5-4. You look at their profile last year, you know, they were top 15 in 8-man Division I in defense. And those are stats that normally carry over. You've got, obviously, a tremendous quarterback back in Kreitz. He'll be a senior. I look Central Plains, Otis Bison to make big climbs.
And let's turn our attention back to the Ellenwood Eagles, this time on the football field. Had Dave Kempke in here either last week or the week before, I don't remember, but I remember speaking to him, and he said, look, we've got really good players. He's really high on his offensive and defensive lines because they've got really good size there. It's just a very thin football team. New leadership for the Eagles, and I know that Dave Kempke is a guy who has been around a little bit, but what do you see from Ellenwood this year?
So, yeah, you know, the major thing is top line. They've got to have some sort of a passing game. You just cannot. And they went 5-4 last year. You have to be able to throw the ball better than what you did. And obviously, all of their leading rushers have graduated and all of those types of things. But, you know, they were in the bottom 5. And, again, all of these stats are on Sunflower Sports Solutions. Bottom 5 in 1A in interceptions, TD to interception ratio, completion percentage. You name it, the passing offense just flat out struggled. You know, a lot of graduates also on defense as well. I know that Miller's back and Tudor's back and Gunn is back. I think that there are some pieces, but I do think as well too that they've got to be able to produce more in certain areas, and they've got to have a lot of players, primarily first-year starters, step up. Now, it is kind of helpful to them that, similar to previous years, on paper at least, their first month out of the gate is not overly challenging. You know, 3-1 is definitely possible. They have Kingman in week 5. Tanner Hageman has been, and he's like Kingman did the best ever season. Kingman took a really deep fall last year. I do expect Kingman to be a lot better this year. But you look on paper, I think Ellenwood can definitely finish with a winning season. You look at the back half of the schedule, Syracuse is going to be down. Madison Lodge is going through a coaching change, some of those types of things. So there's a lot of games on Ellenwood's schedule that they could certainly win. What I want to see is, can they improve certain things that will help in November?
Absolutely. All right, let's circle north of Great Bend. Let's go to to Hoisington. We just went to Ellenwood. Let's go to Hoisington now. This is a group that, you know, you graduate such a good senior class. The season that they had last year was so special. But now This is a class of 13 seniors in a 2A school, or now a 3A team, pardon me, but still a small school with 13 seniors on it, and several of those seniors with some pretty big names. What do you see from Hoisington this year? What are the question marks that you see?
Well, the crazy thing is, and Coach Baird and I really, really like talking with Coach Baird. He and his daughter and my daughter are the same age. They play softball every winter against each other. I did sit down with him this summer, and kind of the crux of the conversation was, we feel good about some pieces back. We've got some coaching to do in certain aspects that are going to have to become stronger. I mean, particularly, they're going to have to find a running back. They're going to have to find a quarterback. But Coach Baird has done that. I mean, every year he's produced some sort of great playmaker in the backfield. And I believe he's going to have somebody else step up. Obviously, Brody Unsteel, I mean, the whole state knows him now. He's a top 10 all classes recruit. He's, got multiple Division I offers. He is a tremendously great player. And I do believe too with Hoisington, 10-1 last year. They are just one of those metronomically consistent teams. And their first month is doable. I mean, I think Cheney is going to be very good, but you look at their schedule. I think Heston is going to be solid. That is generally a very competitive game. But you've got two teams, Hillsborough, Nickerson, who historically you don't have much struggle with. So, again, I think Hoisington is going to play a role. I think that, another strong season, whether it be 8-9 wins, is definitely in play because of the ability for people in that program to, okay, I'm the next guy up at backer, I'm the next guy up at running back. And Coach Baird runs such a great system that people just find their way. And I don't think they're going to be quite as offensively explosive, but if you look at, and I've done this, if you look at Coach Baird's yards per carry, if you look at two things, yards per carry and points allowed, and if you go back 10 years for Coach Baird, those numbers don't really change. Okay? And I just cannot imagine those numbers changing much this year based a little bit on the schedule, based on the tradition, and based on what that Flexbone offense can do.
Yeah, and Connor, I can speak from just, being close to that program. I feel like I can say of their 11 starters on defense, I believe either 9 or 10 of them are going to be a part of that senior class. So I think that you just got so many guys in this program, and I'm with you. It's just such a consistent machine. But I do want to finish this thing off with going to a team that I think has a similar number of question marks to the Hoisington Cardinals, maybe even more. But Great Bend this year, we spoke to Coach Beck on yesterday's program, and he said, look, we do have so many new guys and so many spots that they're not used to playing that it may take them a little while to get going. It may take them some time to kind of all figure out where their best places are, and he kind of thinks, in August, September, they may not be at their best, but as the season goes on, he expects them to improve a lot.
You're exactly right, and I'm going to take a twist on Great Bend in particular that I think is maybe not something that everyone's thinking, but I think it's part of it. Is that, let's be honest here, the expectations for Great Bend this year, and obviously Cooper's back and he's a tremendous player, are not what they were the last couple of years, and that's fine. But these are the years where you may look back on 2026 and 2028 or 9, and you may be like, the growth that we went through in 2026 is going to help us out so much that if Great Bend goes 7-4 this year, 6-4, okay, well, whatever the win-loss is, but if they overachieve this year, that is going to help Great Bend so much. You look at a lot of teams that are in the state semifinals or in the state finals, and I always say, go back 2 years prior. Where was that program 2 years prior? And those seeds are normally planted in a year such as this. And I really believe that Great Bend can overachieve this year, regardless of wins and losses and how those fall, but just how people develop that middle tier. How do those players develop? I'm really interested in Great Bend this season. And I'm not interested in the 10,000-foot view of much of are they going to win every Friday, because that's going to be challenging. But how do some of these newcomers develop, and how will that affect not only, as you said, the back half of this year, but also a couple of the years to come? Would somebody like a Watkins, who is a junior, could he pop up? Obviously Kern is back as well too, the top tackler last season. But really interested in that. Also, a quick note on Hayes High. I would say that the opinions in Hayes High School this year are all over the place. I have talked to multiple people, observers of the program, and people think after 8 games of regular season, Hayes High could be anywhere from 2-6 to 7-1.
Wow.
Like, there is, I don't know if I've seen many teams over the last, it's only our last 5 years, where there's just so much varying opinion on what Hayes High could be this year. Much of it is the unsettledness at quarterback, but some of it is how in the world do you replace the best running back the school's ever had with people that are not used to carrying the ball 30 times a game. So, Hayes High has a tendency to overachieve relative to expectations. I think this is going to be a really, really fascinating year. I've got Hayes High pegged at 5-3. I do have them as the favorite in the WAC. But again, I think it's really interesting because some of these WAC teams, I've heard Dodge City is going to be sneaky good. But again, we'll see where all this falls.
Absolutely. Connor, we'll get you out of here on this. Tell the folks what they can find at Sunflower Sports Solutions.
Yeah, go on and tons of stats. Find your team in football, and especially if they're in 5A and they're on there, a lot of stats. Compare them to other teams. Look at the 3-year trends, like I noted with Hoisington earlier on. Look at the win-losses for the last 7 years. If you were a media member, you're like, hey, you know what? How did Hoisington rank in scoring offense in 2A in 2024? It's there. Where does the Maxwell girl from Ellenwood, where does she stand in career assists among current Kansas players? It's there. Where does Kaya Bayer rank? Sophia Simic, number 1 in the state of Kansas in kills. Likely Sophia Simic likely to finish her career number 2 all-time in kills in Kansas history.
That's awesome. Connor, it's always good to hear you, but especially as we get the new season kicked off. Thank you for joining us today, sir.
Excellent, sir. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. That is Connor Nickel of Sunflower Sports Solutions joining us here on Sports Day.
A community banker should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Chauncey Divis, commercial banker for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the community for a long time, and I look forward to helping people navigate financial challenges and find new financial opportunities. I believe people bank with people. That's why I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 4 Equity Bank locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how committed we are to serving you and the communities we call home. At Equity Bank, we never forget, it's your money. Member FDIC.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
CNE Doors, this is Cindy.
Mima, my summer has been great, but it's starting to feel like a garage door school.
Garage door school?
Yep, I'm learning wood grain colors and smart operators. There's a lot to know.
Sounds like you need a vacation.
I do.
How about a road trip to find a porch goose?
Mima, around here we call them a garage door goose.
Well, Hadley, it sounds like garage door school is paying off.
I'll be a garage door expert in no time.
Upgrade your curb appeal with beautiful wood grain garage doors and smart operators. For same-day quotes, visit CNE Doors in Great Bend or Hayes.
Introducing Ag Mechanics at Barton Community College in partnership with Case New Holland Top Tech. Hands-on training in areas like electrical, hydraulics, and diesel engines, with technicians gaining the knowledge and skills needed to start a career with CNH Level 1 training. Join this high-demand field at a CNH dealership in only 9 months. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at toptech.bartoncccc.edu.
Chris Ramsey, your shelter insurance agent in Great Bend, is here to make sure you're covered with the right protection at the right price. From home, auto, life insurance, renters, personal articles, business, ATV, boat, motorcycle, RV, and farm, Shelter can cover it. Give Chris a call today, 620-793-9390, to discuss your insurance options. Peace of mind is just a call away. That's 620-793-9390. Or stop by 1922 Main in Great Bend.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
The fall lineup is here at Scooter's Coffee, and they're not sorry about the pumpkin. Sip your way into fall with Pumpkin Caramelicious, Pumpkin Cinnalicious, Pumpkin Chai, Pumpkin Spice, or Maple Caramelicious. Want something cold? Try the Maple Caramelicious Cream Cold Brew, Caramel Apple Red Bull Infusion, Caramel Apple Shake, or the Sour Patch Kids Lemonade. Hungry? Grab a Pumpkin Caramelicious Muffin or Veggie Breakfast Burrito. Most drinks come hot, iced, or blended, so go ahead, embrace your pumpkin obsession. Fall only lasts so long. Scooter's Coffee, scoot on around in Great Bend and Pratt.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Final minute and a half or so of the show. Big thanks to Connor Nickel for coming on and imparting some moral wisdom for the first time this year. Looking forward to talking to him a whole bunch this season. Just to, I love getting him on, Caden, just to kind of finish out the week. Before you answer that, Sports Day is brought to you in part by Scooter's Coffee, brewing smiles with quality coffee and treats since 1998. 3501 10th Street in Great Bend. By CNE Doors. With almost 3 decades of experience in the garage door industry, you can be assured that CNE Doors will meet your needs. And by the Field House, your starting block for success. A state-of-the-art gym facility. Stop by today. Caden, your thoughts on talking with Connor and just, it never ceases to amaze me the way that the guy just has like an anecdote or an opinion or a statistic or something. You can ask that guy about the smallest school in the state of Kansas and their, I don't know, not to pick on this sport, but their bowling team, and he's going to have some piece of information on it.
Yeah, I know that he's been doing this a long time growing up in the area, but meeting him for the first time, and ever since then, he's always just been so nice to me.
Yeah.
Love Connor, but no, he is a nerd when it comes to sports, and not in a bad way, but it's just, he does it really well. Yeah. And I wish I could learn from him.
Yeah, for sure. Super nice dude. And to your point, super nice to talk to as well. He's not just brainy. He's a good conversationalist as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for today's program. That's going to do it for the programs this week. We'll be back again on Monday. Big thanks to Landon Winkler for running the video feed and the cameras. Thanks to Caden Sanders for joining me in the studio today. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm Brant Daughtry. Thank you for having me. Big thanks to Austin Livingston and Connor Nickel for joining us on the program today. We'll be back with another Water Cooler Monday on Monday. Same time, same place, 12:30 right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. This has been Sports Day.